Well, 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 look who staggered back my way. Curious to see where this tale goes, are we? Well, my friend, you are in luck, as I just finished penning the next chapter. Please, take a seat, make yourself comfortable, as I fill you in on what happened next. You see, Kelbrix knelt by the dying woman's side as he focused his eyes of the grave upon her, muttering a quick prayer to the mistress of death, Morgana. His sight revealed her time was not now, as he quickly pulled out his holy symbol and prayed forth healing energies into her. The woman returned to the mortal realm, thinking Kelbrix. The woman began inquiring about some sort of artifact. Confused by this, Kelbrix started off by asking her name, as she replied Sindra Ashkreek. Sindra began to explain how she was a member of a group called the Unkindness and needed to travel to Key Village, a small village just outside the capital city walls, to speak with someone named Weaver Albus, informing him that the artifact she was to protect had been stolen by a group calling themselves the Call of the Raven. Sindra persistently pressed to leave at once, claiming that it was imperative to get word to Albus on the artifact. As our group of adventurers convinced her to set out at first light, deciding to set camp for the evening, Kelbrix asked Ari to contact Vistra, informing her of the remaining supplies, as it was their main reason for traveling here. Kelbrix added in the need for extra horses to retrieve the wagons from the roadside, as well as one to use for Sindra. Ari relayed the message to Vistra with a reply, estimating the time of midday for the arrival of the reinforcements. Gorath quickly volunteered to take first watch, as once everyone settled in, he quietly moved over to the cache of shrimp and sampled some more, as his watch was uneventful. Ari, feeling the need to wake, did so to find our Goliath fighting friend investigating a pile of discarded shrimp tails. Moving over quietly behind him, she inquired as to what he was doing, to which he replied something other than him was eating the shrimp. To be clear, Gorath had eaten more than he had realized, which led him to think something else was eating the shrimp. Ari could only shake her head as she began to take her watch, which was also uneventful. As her watch ended, she nudged Kelbrix awake with her boot as she settled down to rest next to Sindra. Kelbrix began his watch by stoking the nearly dead fire. As morning light approached, grabbing several lobsters to smoke for breakfast, a blood-curdling cry from above the camp startled everyone as a bloodhawk circled overhead several times before diving down and landing on a nearby wagon. The hawk began to study the group for a few moments, just before it rocketed from the wagon, passing Kelbrix, drawing everyone's attention to the roadside above. The bloodhawk came to rest on its master's shoulder, a mounted bloodhawk bandit scout. A moment later, a second bandit rode up beside the first, as the first bandit scout called out to the camp, thanking them for protecting the goods of the Bloodhawk bandits. The bandit scouts offered our group of adventurers a deal to leave with what they had found and pay them, being the bandit scouts, a modest fee of 200 gold pieces to walk away unharmed. With his compatriots all on the same page as to deal with these bandits, Kelbrix reached out with his holy symbol, as he channeled his sacred flame, catching the Bloodhawk bandit by surprise. Radiant energy sprang up from beneath him as it surrounded him in religious flame. With a clash of steel and magic, Kelbrix, Gorath, Ari, as well as Sindra made relatively short work of these Bloodhawk bandit scouts with minimal damage taken. They surveyed the scene and looted the dead, relieving them of what they felt was valuable, as a distressed Gorath cried out about the now burnt lobsters by the fire. It wasn't long after the altercation, reinforcements from the wandering wagon Costa finally arrived, providing the party with its pay of 15 platinum and an extra horse for Sindra. Without hesitation, Sindra mounted the horse, eager to set out, urging the party to ride as she explained the trek to Key Village was a full 8-day ride, and time is of the essence. Mounting their horses, they gathered together and rode east, heading to Key Village. Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Crit Eating Grin, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast where we play a campaign set in the fantasy world of Solaris. as we follow the chronicles of three adventurers as they explore the continent of Alteratus. It is my pleasure to present to you the players that will bring to life the three adventurers we will be following. To my right, we have...
I'm Jason, playing Gorath Thunderfist, a Goliath fighter, and I am just not a fan of birds at this point.
And I am Brian. I'm playing Kelbrix Goldbound. He is a very uncoordinated human cleric.
And I'm Katie. I'm playing Aryar Kallis, and she's a sneaky tiefling rogue.
And my name is Eric, and I will be your dungeon master in this chapter of our tale. Traveling on Green Coastway Road, heading in a northeastern direction towards the capital city of Landgate, in order to get to a small village just outside Landgate's western wall called Key Village, with Syndra, the rescued caravan guard, seeking out someone named Weaver Albus in order to inform this Albus of some sort of lost artifact. Leading the way, Syndra looks to the group and says, "As I stated before, the trip to Key Village is roughly around a 7 to 8 day ride on horseback." So let's go ahead and establish a riding order at this point. Syndra is in the lead, and as for the rest of you, where do you see yourselves?
I'd probably be following right behind her.
I want to be in the back.
And I'll be comfortably in the middle.
Okay. The day's current temperature is a pleasant 75 degrees as a gentle breeze blows, keeping everyone cool as you travel. As night falls on the first day, will you establish a watch? And if so, what will it be?
I can go first.
Alright, I'll go second.
By default. I'll finish up the night here.
Alright.
Or Syndra.
Over the next several days, the weather conditions will maintain a constant 75 to 78 degrees with a nice breeze, keeping the party comfortable on your trek to Key Village. The activity is very minimal over these 3 days, mostly just other travelers going to and from different locations throughout Alteratus. The party develops a routine at this point, traveling until you feel the need to stop for a break, feeding the horses, as well as yourselves, via hunting or foraging, scouting for a campsite when night sets in, watching and resting until you start it over the next day. During this time, you each learn a little more about one another, as Syndra reveals she is a ranking member of the Arcanist, known as a Threader. You also discover she's a magic wielder who lost her arcane focus in the ambush with the Raven assailants. The symboled medallion that she inquired about back at the wagon site. What will each of you reveal during this time to one another?
Well, Kelbrix will reveal the fact that he's never really officially studied in the cleric ways of Morgana and the path of a death cleric. It's something he picked up while he was in the woods on his own, away from everyone.
No pressure.
No. Gorath, he'll just reveal that, he saw his clan killed, and he believes it's the dwarfs, because only other mountain dwellers would dare mess with Goliaths in their home territory.
No wonder he hates dwarves.
Yeah, I know. So I was honestly about to ask, was it dwarves? Did you see dwarves kill your people, and that's why you hate dwarves?
Well, Ari will reveal that she lost her parents when she was pretty young, and believes she lost a good friend of hers as well recently.
Day 4. A long rest completed. Mounting up at first light. Riding. Traveling until you feel the need to stop for a break. Feeding the horses, as well as yourselves, via hunting or foraging. Somewhere around late afternoon, you each see a distant road marker, with 2 ravens perched on this road marker. As the ravens seem to be watching, or possibly studying the group, as it rides closer. The road marker with these 2 ravens is roughly 120 feet away from the party. Syndra will be riding lead, as she has done since you all left the road ambush/salvage site. Since Syndra is leading, what's your current travel order? How is everyone riding up to this point?
I'm still gonna be in the back.
Okay. I'll still be following right behind Sindra.
Once again, I'll take the middle.
So it sounds like you all will be riding single file behind Sindra. Sindra will pull her horse off to the side a bit, waiting for you, specifically Kelbrix, to move up, as she points out to you. Do you see what I see? Referring to the ravens perched on the roadside marker up ahead.
Yeah, 2 ravens.
Yes. Is it just me, or does it feel as if they are staring at us? As if they are inquiring or studying our every movement? Is this common behavior for ravens?
Not that I really recall. I mean, I know that ravens are kind of weird creatures. I've seen them, in and around cemeteries before, but, they're just kind of weird creatures.
As you all ride near 75 to 80 feet to the road marker's position, the ravens will call and then take off flying in an eastern direction.
Gorath, that's your favorite animal.
Why are there so many birds around here? I don't get it. Just over it.
It's okay, Gorath. It's the circle of life. Ravens will scavenge from animals that have been killed by larger prey on the side of roads. It's normal.
What do ravens scavenge when we kill them?
Well,
They can't really scavenge if they're dead.
yeah, I'd guess other ravens would scavenge those ravens. I'm not sure.
You all ride on, encountering nothing else, only the routine of traveling, occasional breaks, horse feeding, as well as feeding yourselves that takes place until night. Camp is found and set, watches take place. Day 5, another long rest completed, mounting up at first light, riding, traveling until you feel the need to stop for a break, feeding the horses as well as yourselves via hunting or foraging. Somewhere around midday is when you all will transition from the Green Coast Way Road to the Gateway Road, heading in the southeastern direction. As you all continue traveling on the Gateway Road, somewhere around mid to late afternoon, Kelbrix, you're going to notice a deadwood tree. It's roughly 140 to 150 feet ahead of you, on the right side of the road. You notice that there are 4 ravens perched in this deadwood tree, silently sitting, almost intently watching as you ride down the Gateway Road. Kelbrix, it's at this point you're the lead person, as Sindra has kind of fallen back to third in position, just in front of Ari, who I am assuming will still be riding in the rear.
Yeah.
This puts Gorath behind you.
Hey, Gorath, look. We got some of your friends up ahead. I'm gonna point to the ravens.
Bloody ravens.
Hey, at least they're not the hawks.
That's true. I guess we've run across these things several times now, haven't we?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Slowing down the horses from a gallop to a trot, you keep your eyes on this deadwood tree with 4 ravens. As you reach somewhere around 70 feet, a cacophony of calling fills the air, so much so that it sends a chill to your souls. The closer you get, the louder the ravens' eerie, ominous callings get. As you get around 40 feet from the deadwood tree, a smattering of wings takes flight, all 4 fly in formation in a southeastern direction.
That's interesting. I don't know if ravens are really pack hunters.
Are we following them, or are they leading us?
Oh shit.
They're not that smart. They're just stupid birds.
These ravens seem to be intelligent creatures.
No. They're just stupid birds.
Night begins to awaken as camp is found and set. What will the watch be?
Same as before?
Sure. You'll take first, I'll take second, Gorath takes final.
I can take a watch as well if it will help.
Sure. You want to take last watch, then Gorath will take third.
That sounds like a splendid idea.
Alright.
That sounds great, yes. Day 6. Another long rest completed. Mounting up at first light. Riding. Traveling until you feel the need to stop for a break. Feeding the horses, as well as yourselves via hunting or foraging. The weather grows hotter. Humidity becomes thick. clouds begin to take shape and swell as the day turns into night. Camp is found and set as the air is still muggy and soupy, making the watches miserable. Day 7, an uncomfortable long rest completed. Trudging to mount up at first light, riding, traveling, taking more frequent breaks, feeding the horses as well as yourselves via hunting or foraging. Just one more day to endure these hot, muggy conditions until Key Village, where fresh, warm food and ale, as well as a soft bed, awaits at the local inn. Somewhere around mid to late afternoon, the conditions are treacherous. Humidity is still thick and soupy. Beads of sweat roll down the backs of your necks, pouring into crevices and joints that can't be reached due to armor or clothing. The clouds swell. They become angry as they darken. Droplets of rain begin to fall from them. As the drops begin hitting the dirt, the breeze begins to increase as the rain now falls. The more you ride, the heavier the rain gets. At first, you welcome the rain because it cools you and the horses down, but soon you all become soaked through your armor, gear, and clothes, making things uncomfortable and irritating. Night begins to settle in as the rain continues to fall without relief. The temperature drops to the point where you all believe you see your breaths. A slight chill is felt as the now cold rain takes hold. Yet you continue to ride, pushing to Key Village for relief. A slight fog forms, small pockets at first just off the roadside. As you push on, the fog settles on the road. The distant sound of nocturnal creatures calling out begins to increase, as does everyone's adrenaline. The road is now gone in the distance, enveloped by the fog. The earth and dirt gateway road has now become a puddle-ridden, muddy road. As you begin to look at one another, you each agree it might be a good time to find and set up camp. As each of you attempt to find a dry place to rest, Kelbrix, you notice movement in the distance just up ahead on the road. You try to narrow your vision in order to see through the fog and rain. So I have 2 questions for you. Do you choose to alert the party, or do you take the time to focus your vision for a better look?
I'd like to take some time, focus my vision, but at the same time, I'd like to try and reach down, find either a stick or rock that's nearby, so I can toss in that direction as I cast light on it.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check for leaning over to find a stick or a rock, and then if you would, a perception check with disadvantage because conditions of the rain and fog are playing into the effect.
Okay.
Don't fall off your horse.
Well, athletics, that'll be a 9. I got a 7 plus 2 for athletics, and then perception. Ooh, alright, that'll be a 7. I got 2 on the dice, and with a plus 5 for my perception.
Unfortunately, you are unable to grab anything from the ground, being that you are mounted on a horse. But you will drift near the roadside, reaching out, grabbing onto a branch from a nearby tree, as you pull on the branch, hoping to break off something large enough to throw. You only obtain a small stick, still enough to cast light on though. You give it a hearty throw, regardless, but the rain and other conditions will not allow it to go far. The small stick travels 10 feet ahead of you, lighting up as you cast light on it. The illumination from the stick gives you a larger area to see, but it's still not quite giving you what you were looking for as far as a good clear focus on what is ahead of you and your party. The rest of you seem to be slightly oblivious at first, looking off the roadside for some place with cover from the rain in order to set camp for the night. As your attentions are now drawn to the light Kelbrix just tossed.
What you doing there, buddy?
There's something up ahead of us. I'm not quite sure what it is.
I don't see anything.
Is everything alright?
I'm not sure. It could be just a caravan coming, but it looks a little sketchy.
Slowly coming into view on the road in front of the party is what appears to be 4 cloaked riders on mounts, silhouetted against the rainy, cold night sky. The The only details that can be made out at this point is the breaths rolling from beneath the hoods of these 4 cloaked mysterious figures. The mounts of these 4 cloaked riders breathe heavily in the distance as well, as steam shoots from their nostrils. All of you can see these 4 silhouetted riders on these mounts, presumably horses by the sounds being made. What would you like to do?
So, are they riding toward us, or are they stationary?
They are currently at a standstill in a straight line somewhere between 100 to 200 feet. They appear to have been riding from the opposite direction as your party, as you are now in some kind of face-off.
Okay.
As you continue to study these mysterious riders, you notice that they are slowly beginning to get closer at this point, as they walk their horses in tandem towards the party.
Well, I'm going to come up next to you, Kelbrix, and... well, no sense in camping now. Looks like we're not getting any sleep anytime soon, so what do you say?
You never know.
I'll ride up closer and kind of be slightly behind, but next to Syndra, since she's probably on his other side.
Right. I'm gonna holler out in front and say, "Oi there! How's it going?"
The 4 riders continue to creep towards the party, still in a line, coming to a rest after you call out, Kelbrix. Maybe 100 to 120 feet from the party at this point. Everyone can make out more details, especially you, Ari, with your dark vision. Even though it only goes to 60 feet, your eyes are a little better trained for the night. Bird-like silhouettes are perched on the rider's shoulders that can be seen. As things grow silent for a moment, calls begin to ring out in a murderous cry. I'd like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Birds.
Birds.
I got 13, 11, and 2.
And I got a 16, rolled an 11, wisdom save +5.
14, 13 plus 1.
Ari and Gorath, with your results, each one of you are frightened. As you each fight to stay upright on your horses, as they too are startled. Kelbrix, you and Syndra steady your horses quickly, as they are startled as well, but you both shake off this fear. Intimidation tactics used by these mysterious cloak riders. Looking back, Kelbrix, you watch as both Ari and Gorath fight to stay on their horses, as you get the feeling they are definitely frightened. You can all hear a voice cry out from one of the mysterious riders. "You have something that belongs to the Raven. Bring it forth willingly and avoid suffering the wrath of his unkindness." At this point, rain is the only thing that can be heard, along with the breathing of horses in the distance, as well as your own. What do you guys wish to do?
Well, I don't know what they're talking about.
And neither do I. Alright, I'm gonna shout out and say, well, I don't know what it is that the Raven is seeking from us, but whatever it is, it's something we don't have. May you go about your way, and may blessings be with you. And during that time, I'm gonna cast Bless on Ari and Gorath and Syndra as well. So, what that'll mean is both Ari and Gorath and Syndra will be able to make a additional D4 roll for as long as I maintain concentration for the next minute on any attacks and saving throws.
With that reply, you cast Bless on your party members. Would you mind refreshing what it is, or was, that you said again, for me as well as the listeners?
Yeah, I said, well, I don't know what it is that the Raven is seeking from us, but whatever it is, it's something we don't have. May you go about your way, and may the blessings be with you.
No, let's not be too irrational. I think it's time that we go back.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Ari and Gorath, just a reminder, the two of you are frightened by the display of these cloaked figures. This means you will suffer from the frightened condition. The frightened condition states that creatures have disadvantage on ability checks as well as attack rolls, as long as the source of their fear is within line of sight. The affected cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
That means, Kelbrix, you're going to take some steps forward. But for me, I'm planting myself right here.
Yeah.
I'm still behind you.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to break that fear, since you do get to add a d4 anytime you make that wisdom save.
You hear no reply to your statement, Kelbrix. What you do hear is the snapping of reins, combined with the sides of the horses being kicked in tandem as the horses cry out. The mysterious riders begin their charge, heading directly towards the four of you. So I would like for you all to roll for an initiative.
Alright, are we rolling at disadvantage with the fear?
That's actually a good question. No, you will not roll initiative at disadvantage, only when you roll ability checks or attack rolls, unless you are able to calm your fear by making wisdom saving throws at the end of each round.
I think I know exactly what they want.
You just now realized that?
No, I mean, I knew. So.
Yeah, personally, I knew, but I don't think Kelbrix knows.
Well, Ari doesn't know, or is at least pretending like she doesn't know.
Alright, what is your initiative?
16 and 3, so 19 total.
Kelbrix, what is your initiative?
That's a 7 minus 2 for a total of 5.
That's solid right there.
Brings two every
Gorath,
time.
what is your initiative?
18, 16 plus 2 for initiative.
You gotta keep in mind, the absolute max I could ever roll is an 18, and that's if I get an at 20.
I'm over here with plus 3, so.
I got a plus 5 wisdom save, so I got a plus 5.
There you go.
Alright, and then hey, you know what? That's why I'm not afraid, unlike you two.
True.
Kelbrix was. He's not nimble, but there's a reason I say he's a bumbling idiot. Because I sure as hell ain't nimble.
Here's the initiative order for you listeners out there following along. Ari will be up first, followed by Gorath second. Our mysterious riders will go on the same initiative count in the middle of the order. Syndra and Kelbrix will bring up the last couple slots as they tie for their initiative. A bright flash of lightning lights up the night sky as you finally all get a good look at these raven-masked riders as they charge towards you on their all-black horses. All their eyes crackle with this intense blue arcanic energy. Each of you see that the riders have a hand tightly gripping the reins of their horse as they hunch over, raising their free hand with these massive claw-like bladed gloves. Very similar to a certain comic book individual, which we will not name for being sued. There are 3 blades extending from these leather gloves. Each blade is 12 inches in length and gets wider from the glove's base to the total width of 3 inches at the blade's tip that have a claw-like hook on them. Another bright flash of lightning, followed by a strong rumble of thunder, reveals that the Raven Riders each wear long flowing purple and black hooded capes covered in feathers, flowing in the wind as they charge with intensity and purpose towards the party. I'll show you all a picture of what these riders look like.
That's great.
Yeah, these are some scary looking guys. Shit.
And if you all out there would like to see what these riders look like, check out our YouTube channel, or you can check it out at our website at criteeatinggrin.com.
Great, there's 4 of them. Oh boy.
And 2 were charging.
No, sir, all 4 of them are charging.
All 4. Oh boy.
Yay!
Alright, well keep in mind, you guys get to still add d4 to attacks and saving throws. Hopefully that'll come in handy when you try to break from the frightened condition. Oh boy.
That would be good.
Yeah. And as a point of order, I believe from the last time, Syndra still has my mace, doesn't she?
She sure does.
That's great.
She never gave it back. She's kept it the whole time.
That's what I thought. So all I got's a dagger.
I've got like 2 sickles and a scimitar. You want me to give you something?
Nah, I can't really use any of those.
No. What about I've also got a rapier.
I don't know if I can use a rapier either.
Oh, well, that's not
I
helpful.
can only use simple weapons. I don't know if any of those are simple.
A sickle is a simple weapon.
Okay.
I'll toss you one.
It does the same as a dagger, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think it's a d4, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1d4 and plus 2.
Yeah, well, the +2 is because of either your strength or dex, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
Ari, as these 4 Raven Mask Riders are charging, seeing that you are first in the order, what are you going to do?
I am not going to move and going to pull out my short bow and try to shoot one of them.
Just a reminder, your attacks are at disadvantage due to being frightened,
Yep.
as well as the weather conditions.
So 4 and 5, so 9.
Did you add the d4?
No, I did not. Hang on. 11.
And 11 will hit.
Yeah, nice. So damage is 8 for piercing damage.
Nice.
Your arrow will leave your short bow as your breathing increases along with your heart rate the closer these riders get. The arrow will cut into the shoulder of one of these riders. Feathers and cloth from the cloak mixed with blood will fly. The rider will flinch, reacting to the damage you dealt. The rider will focus its attention on you. The intensity of the horse's breathing continues as steam shoots from the nostrils.
It's not terrifying at all. Thanks. Great. I'm not gonna do anything else then.
Gorath, you are up.
Alright, so I can't move forward, correct?
Right, you can't move toward them, which is currently forward.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out my battle axe and I'm going to hold my action.
Okay, so what's your trigger for your held action?
I'm gonna say someone performs an attack on me within like melee range, I'll set a counter attack.
Okay, so Gorath is holding his action for now.
I'm just not gonna bolt on you guys. I'm sorry, can't go anywhere.
Now it's the Raven Riders' turns. Seeing that these 4 riders started at 120 feet as the encounter began, and then began riding towards the group before I call for the initiative, that means they will have at this point taken at least 1 movement at about 40 feet, putting them at about 80 feet from everyone, correct?
Yeah, sounds right.
Alright, so I can math. The Raven Riders are going to tighten their grips on their reins as they each kick their horses' sides, taking the dash action, rushing them in 80 feet as each of them size up the party, choosing one of you to engage with, as they will end their turns, setting them up for the next round.
Oh boy.
Syndra will go next, as she lets out a battle cry, as with her right hand, she reaches across to her left side, pulling out your mace, Kelbrix. As the mace is drawn, Syndra will attempt to deliver an arcing swing to her engaged Raven Rider. Let's see. She will hit, dealing, 5 points of bludgeoning damage to her engaged rider. You will hear a slight cracking sound from the porcelain mask as the mace connects on the side of the rider's head. She controls her horse with the reins in her left hand, showing no fear, instead showing anger or perhaps vengeance. Kelbrix, you're up.
Okay, so there's someone that's currently engaged with me, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to reach out and attempt to inflict wounds on the engaged Raven Rider. So, casting inflict wounds, that will be 18 to hit,
Nice.
13 plus 5.
An 18 will hit.
Okay, so that will do 3d10. Let's see here.
Nice.
Alright. So that will be 10 points of necrotic damage.
That is very fortunate for you.
And that's all I got.
Okay, so that'll be the end of round 1.
Alright, well I can do that one more time.
Good.
So at this point, before we begin the second round, I'd like to have Ari and Gorath make a wisdom saving throw to see if they can shake off the frightened condition that is affecting them.
It's 10 and 2, so 12.
Don't forget to add the d4, #blessed.
Do you get the D4 with that one?
Yep, saving throws.
Nice. Okay. 13.
Alright.
Still frightened.
I got a 12.
Good try.
So with those failed wisdom saving throws, the second round begins as it is your turn, Ari.
They're right up on us now, right?
Correct. It currently is 1v1.
So I'd be able to reach out and like stabby them.
You sure could.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pull out both my daggers then and try to swipe the one nearest me. And I still have disadvantage, right?
Unfortunately, because of the frightened condition, you do, yes.
Yes, great. Okay. So I rolled a 4 with a 5 in the attack modifier. So 9.
Did you add the D4? Hashtag blast.
Yep. Hashtag blast. 11.
11 is your attack roll.
Yeah.
It'll just hit.
Nice.
Hashtag blast.
Okay. And then damage from the dagger is D4. So 2 and total of 5 piercing with my modifier. And then since I put out both of them, I can try and swipe with my other daggers bonus action, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
And real quick, was anyone else in range of the individual that Ari's attacking?
You mean to trigger...
Sneak attack.
Oh, sneak attack.
I would say if you guys, which you did ride kind of side by side before combat started,
You're, mostly in a line.
then yes, there would be someone close enough to trigger the sneak attack. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2d6 sneak attack damage.
And you did the initial 5 points.
So the initial was 5 points of piercing. Sneak attack would be an additional 3 points for a total of 8. And then the roll to hit with the second dagger. I need disadvantage still. So, if I get a nat 20, then it's... Oh, I still have to roll again, right?
Yeah.
Disadvantage.
Okay. So I got a 15, 10, and 5.
15 will hit.
Ooh, plus the hashtag bless.
15 plus hashtag blast.
18 with the hashtag bless. And then with 2 weapon fighting, you don't add the damage modifier, yeah?
That's correct. You just roll on the D4 for the dagger.
Correct.
No.
And you do not get the sneak attack damage as you triggered it with the first attack.
Just 1 point of piercing damage then for that one.
That's better than nothing.
The rider lets out a gasp of pain, Ari. The voice is female. Gorath, it is your turn.
Alright, so you said they are flush to us right now, right?
Correct, 1v1.
Alright, so I am definitely going to two-hand swing because I'm frightened and I'm just swinging for anything that I can hit. And disadvantage. And that is 11. 5 on the die plus 6 attack modifier.
An 11 will hit your Raven Rider, Gorath.
Hey, and then I did say two-handed, so cool 5 points of slashing damage.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
Hey, I got 10 points on 3d10s.
That's true.
Releasing your battle axe two-handed out of fear towards the Raven Riders across from you, Gorath. It carves into the chest, sending cloth and feathers mixed with blood flying. Are you going to end your turn?
I enjoy the sight of watching feathers fly, so I say yes.
At the middle of the order, it is now the Raven Riders' turn. They will each put their hands directly onto the center of their chests, left hand over their heart, much like the Pledge of Allegiance, if you will. Each of you notice a subtle glow emanating from their ring finger on their left hand, as this kind of purple spectral aura of armor forms over top of them.
Okay.
Ari, your hand kind of tingles and itches on the finger on which you're wearing that ring that you had recovered.
Yay, great.
You look at the ring as you begin to see it reveals purple glowing runes all the way around the ring band.
Should I be worried about that?
They will each steady their horses as they will draw back with their claw-like bladed gloves, which strongly resemble ravens' talons now that you have a better look at them, and this will end their turns.
Oh boy.
For Syndra's turn, she is going to take the mace and try to continue pummeling her target.
Alright, don't forget she is #blessed as well.
She sure is. She swings the mace in a high, arcing downward motion, landing the mace directly on the lower neck, the area between the shoulder and head, as you hear almost like a cracking or crunching sound as raven feathers fly off. She will do another 5 points of bludgeoning damage to her Raven Rider. She will end her turn. Kelbrix, you are up, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out to the individual in front of me again and cast Inflict Wounds one more time. Hopefully this will do something. And that's definitely gonna miss with an 8. 3 plus 5.
Unfortunately, an 8 will not make contact, Kelbrix. As you reach forth with your hand, charging it in this smoky, purplish gray necrotic energy, there's actually resistance between the two magics, like two similar magnetic poles pushing against one another, as the purple aura armor of the Raven Rider sparks, causing you to pull your hand away. You were unable to break through this time.
Failed me. That'll end my turn.
This will bring us to the end of the second round. I'd like to have Ari and Gorath make a wisdom saving throw to see if they can shake off the frightened condition that is affecting them.
12, 10, and 2.
12.
Again.
Well, wait, did you add your wisdom save bonus, Ari?
Is that total with the #blessed?
Oh, no. Wait, crap. Yeah, hang on, sorry. 14. I forgot to add my wisdom save modifier. I only had blessed. So.
12 for me with the #blessed.
Oh,
Well, let me double check the number you both needed to beat.
doing great.
I think it was a 15, wasn't it?
I believe so. And yes, it is a 15. Unfortunately, you're both still frightened as we start the third round.
Oh.
Arya, it is your turn.
Alright, well, I'm gonna take out one of the sickles I pulled off the dead body when we had our first encounter with these stupid ravens, and I want to toss it over to Kelbrix since it doesn't have any weapons.
I mean, I have a dagger. You can toss it to me, but it'll just fall on the ground.
Well,
So
that is
you're
a
going to toss
dagger.
over a sickle to Kelbrix, Arya.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try not to get stabbed by it.
If I toss the sickle, can I still do an attack?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's object interaction.
Did you have the sickle out already? Because...
No. I had both my daggers out.
yeah, then I would consider you tossing over the sickle as your action.
Okay, well, that's that. Then that's it.
Kelbrix, you hear Ari call out to you as a
Oi.
sickle comes flying toward you. Gorath, it is your turn.
They're still flush with us, right?
Yes, it's still 1v1. As you take a second to assess this, the Raven Rider in front of you is going to say, "Give us the map."
Map? What map?
Oh, that's what they want?
Alright, so I will attempt to swing at him, doing two-handed battle axe. Of course, this is going to be a great roll and not be a damn thing, because it's a damn disadvantage. 21. 15 was my lowest number, plus 6 for my modifier.
A 21 will hit the Raven Rider.
Ooh. Alright. Not great, but that's 7 points of slashing damage.
7's better than nothing.
Don't remind me. And that will end my turn.
Immediately after taking the strike from you, Gorath, the Raven Rider slashes quickly towards you with its claw-like bladed gloves. And it is only able to get an 8 on the attack roll, which I assume misses you.
That will miss.
The 3 remaining Raven Riders will follow suit with their claw-like attacks as they drew their arms back on their previous turns. Ari, your attacker has a 7.
Yeah, that'll miss.
And Kelbrix, your attacker has a 7 as well.
That'll miss for once.
Hey.
All of you will hear a painful filled scream from Syndra as her attacker was able to critically strike her, leaving its mark on her. Syndra will take 5 points of critical slashing damage as both Ari and Kelbrix notice runes igniting on the claw-like blades. These runes glow green as she cries out, "It burns!"
Ooh.
The Raven Riders will maintain their positions, ending their turns. This brings us to Syndra, as she is going to retaliate with the mace after being wounded by the Raven Rider. As she goes to take another arcing swing, she will lose her grip on the mace, critically failing her attack with a 1. The mace falls to the mud as she just instead clutches her wounds while trying to stay on the horse. Kelbrix, it'll be your turn.
Okay, I'm.
Well, you just had a weapon thrown at you.
Yes! I did have a weapon thrown at me, which I honestly have no intention whatsoever of grabbing.
The sickle will clatter off your armor as it will just land at the hooves of your horse in the mud.
Okay, cool.
And your mace is on the ground now, too.
That's cool. I'm gonna look at the individual that's in front of me and cast Toll the Dead. So they will need to make a Wisdom saving throw. DC is 13.
That is going to fail.
Nice. So they will take 1d12 points of necrotic damage. And nice. That'll come to a total of 12.
Nice.
12 points of necrotic damage to that individual.
Yes, 12 points of necrotic damage.
The rider cries out in agony with a male voice as you see he nearly falls off the horse's side. He instead lays on the neck of the horse, clutching his head, attempting to keep on the horse.
Alright, perfect. So, as I finish my turn, could I use my inspiration point to look at Gorath and say, "These are just more birds. There's nothing to fear. You can kill them all."
Gorath, feeling inspired by Kelbrix, you will have advantage on your saving throw made to end your frightened condition, as that will bring us to the end of round 3. Ari and Gorath, will you do us the honors of making a wisdom saving throw to see if they can finally shake off the frightened condition that has affected you both?
Alright. Oof. 8, 6, and 2.
Remember, you're both still blessed. Hashtag blessed.
I have a 24. Dirty 20, but 4 added to that with hashtag blessed.
Gorath, you are no longer frightened. Ari,
Yes.
what is your result?
Well, I'm just being an idiot apparently. I had an 8, but forgot the hashtag bless roll again, so that'll be an 11.
Gorath, the inspirational speech of Kelbrix has led you to believe these are mere mortal men. They are not birds. And as men, you can smash. Unfortunately, Ari, you are still frightened by these masked Raven Riders. And this will bring us to the beginning of the 4th round, as you are up, Ari.
Alright, well, back with both my daggers out, I want to strike at the girl in front of me. And disadvantage. So, I got a 3 and a 5, so 8. And hang on, remember this time. Plus 2 on the hashtag blessed die for a total of 10.
As you strike with the dagger, it's almost if there's a thin barrier of protection as you see sparks of purple energy as your dagger bounces off some type of arcane armor.
Shit, mage armor.
Huh. Well, can I still try to strike with my other dagger then?
Sure.
Okay. 13 plus 5 is 18. And plus 3 for the blessed die for 21.
Yeah, 21 will hit the Raven Rider.
Nice. Oh, 1. 4. Wait, no. 1. I can read.
Alright, oh, yeah, that's right. You don't get sneak attack because you're rolling at disadvantage.
Hmm.
Correct.
Probably should have remembered that on the first one.
It's okay. It's all a process.
Yay, 3 points.
Going to get all the hate and all the negativity, I'm sure, from the interwebs.
That was kind of my fault.
Look, I'm just doing my best.
Gorath, you finally shake off the fear, realizing these are just men and not birds. What are you going to do as it is your turn?
Oh, you're in trouble now. Alright, I'm going to two-handed attack with the battle axe on the Raven Rider right in front of me.
Okay.
22 to hit, 16 plus 6.
22 will definitely hit.
That is 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Alright, but I'm not finished yet because I'm getting pissed off. And I'm going to action surge.
Oh, excellent.
Alright, I'm going to attack him again. I am not done with you. And that is a 23 to hit, 17 plus 6.
And hit it does.
Oh, you're mine now. Yes, that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my goodness. How does Gorath want to do this?
Nice.
Did I see their rings light up?
Your passive is like an 11, right?
11. I think it was an 11 or 12. I can't remember. It's 11.
I'm going to say no. With your passive perception being an 11, you wouldn't have seen the rings light up.
Alright then, well, be a little less subtle about this, and I'm just going to straight to the face with this axe, breaking off that stupid beak on his mask.
The porcelain beak of the raven mask will shatter as pieces fly off in the distance, as the rest of the mask will crack and splinter. Blood sprays out from the gash left by your battle axe, as the fractured remaining bits of the porcelain raven mask peels off the face, revealing the bloody face of a human male. The lifeless body slumps over the horse, slapping down into the mud.
Did I get a splatter on me?
From the initial spray, blood will splatter on your forehead and cheeks, as well as your bald head.
Alright, well then I'm going to take a look. The one engaged with Kelbrix. You're next. You're next.
That is just an amazing visual. So tell you what, go ahead and give me an intimidation check. I'd like to see how this plays out. Don't forget the hashtag blessed eye.
Well, that's not going to matter much, but 7. 5 plus 3. 2. Oh, no, that's a -1. Yeah, 7.
Math.
Well, that will, that's going to end my turn.
The Raven Riders will each draw back their right hands as the tips of the claw-like bladed gloves glow. A barrage of magic missiles will explode from the tips of each blade. Each one of you guys will take 11 points of force damage, except for Gorath because his opponent is not alive anymore.
No. No.
That hurts.
That's not helpful.
Give us the map, is what you will hear one of them say from beneath the mask.
No.
Is Syndra still up?
She's up.
Okay,
Oh,
I
dang.
was curious because that was kind of a vicious attack. She got critted on earlier.
She's good.
Okay, cool.
With that being said, it will be Syndra's turn. With no weapon in hand, she's going to dismount from her horse, which uses half of her speed. Picking up your mace, Kelbrix, from the mud, she's going to whisper something under her breath as she pulls the mace back, swinging in an upward arc towards the mounted rider directly in front of her. As she does this, you will each notice a surge of green arcane energy travel from her hand up the shaft of the mace, reaching the end or ball as it explodes in green flame. Unfortunately, the mace will not make contact as the green flame will snuff out as she looks and says, "Damn you!" Kelbrix, it'll be your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the one in front of me and say, let's try this again. I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead and we'll say, let's see if now the bells will take you to your grave. He'll need to make a wisdom saving throw. DC is 13.
Okay, let's see. The Raven Rider will fall.
Nice.
Alright, nice. Let's see if this will put him in his grave. And that's gonna be 4 points of necrotic damage.
The Raven Rider in front of you starts to laugh maniacally. Grabs the side of its head as you hear a male voice screaming from beneath the Raven mask instead as he falls off his horse into the muddy road.
Yeah.
Nice.
He writhes in pain as his body convulses before letting out his last breath.
Alright, perfect. With that, I will end my turn.
As that will bring us to the end of the 4th round. Ari, please make a wisdom saving throw to see if you can shake off the frightened condition that is affecting you. Please, don't forget to roll #blessed.
Alright, come on. 11.
You are still frightened as we begin the 5th round. Ari, it is your turn.
Alright, well, back at it again with the daggers, so... 19... Let's see... 5, plus my modifier of 5. 1 on the #blessed for an 11 hit with the dagger.
As you thrust your dagger towards the Raven Rider, purple sparks fly off this magical armor.
Stupid armor. I'm gonna try with the second dagger then. Let's see. 10 plus 5 and then 1 on the #blessed, so 16.
16 will hit.
1 point of piercing damage.
1 point of piercing damage it is.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ari?
Nope. That'll end my turn.
Alright, Gorath, you are up.
Alright, so who is closer to me out of everyone in the group?
The way I envisioned it when the encounter started was you rode up on the left side of Kelbrix.
Correct.
And then Syndra's on the right side, and I moved up to the right of Syndra. I think slightly behind her.
So with Syndra being on the right of Kelbrix, her Raven Rider would be the closest to you, Gorath. As Ari being more to Syndra's right, hers would be the furthest.
Alright, I'm not going to overthink this, so I'm just going to go to the closest Raven Rider to me.
And that'll be Syndra's Raven Rider.
Alright, I'm going to go head that way.
Using the reins of your horse, you pull hard right while kicking its side, riding over to the nearest Raven Rider who is engaged with Syndra.
Alright, I'm going to take a swing. I'm going to still do this two-handed.
Right.
Alright, that's a 15.
15 will hit the Raven Rider as you come charging in.
Alright. 7 points of slashing damage.
How does Gorath want to do this?
Oh! Alright, well, I'm just going to go straight into the chest while I'm riding.
As you gallop in with your battle axe, the Raven Rider looks towards you, quickly attempting to use both of its claw-like bladed gloved hands to block your incoming attack. As you, Gorath, fent with your body, leading the Raven Rider to believe your attack is going in a different direction. As the Raven Rider moves his defenses to the fented position, you sink your battle axe in the open window of his chest. You immediately feel the weight of the Raven Rider's body on your blade, as you know it's lights out. As you continue to ride, the momentum will rip the rider off the horse as the corpse will do a 180-degree spin, slamming into the muddy road.
Do a barrel roll.
And that's going to end my turn.
Immediately after that, the last and lone remaining Raven Rider grabs her horse's reins, snapping and pulling them hard left while kicking the side of her horse. Using her action to disengage from you, Ari, she spins the horse around, facing it back in the direction that they came from, as the horse begins to gallop 40 feet in that direction, as this will end her turn.
Does it have to get past us?
It doesn't matter, she disengaged.
The next person to go will be Syndra, as she is going to look at the Raven Rider trying to escape. She is going to move back to the side of her horse. she will leap up using half her speed to mount the horse, as she will kick the side of her horse, galloping 40 feet towards the escaping rider. She pulls back her hand with the mace, sizing up the rider. At this point, she's not close enough to make an attack yet. Kelbrix, it'll be your turn.
Alright, well, you know it, you love it, Toll the Dead.
The Raven Rider will fail.
Alright, so... come on, big money. Nope, that's 2 points of necrotic damage.
The Raven Rider will
Nothing.
react,
Yeah.
showing pain as she slumps forward, but is able to maintain posture on the horse as she looks back towards you, Kelbrix.
Alright, and I will kick the sides of Buttercup and start galloping towards her, getting right up to her.
Alright, we have reached the end of the 5th round, giving one last hope for our rogue tiefling to end her condition of fear. Ari, if you would please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Nope, that ain't it, Chief. 11 again.
Well,
Hey.
still frightened. At this point, Ari, your brain is like, you guys can have it.
My brain is just short-circuited. I'm gonna pull out my short bow then.
Are you dropping your daggers to do this?
Eh.
You can throw a dagger too.
Ooh, I could. I do have 2.
You do have 2 of them, that's correct.
Yeah, or you could move up.
No, I can't.
I'll say this. If you drop your daggers, there is a slight chance of losing them in the mud.
That's true. I guess I'll throw one then.
Are you gonna move closer to them?
No, I can't.
Oh yeah, that's right, you're still frightened.
Still frightened.
A dagger goes flying. What do we have to hit?
One moment. 8 plus 5 is some math. 13.
13 plus 1?
Yeah, 14 then.
You will see the dagger fly as for a moment you think it is going to miss. That is when you see it sink into the rider's back. Ugh! As she instinctively releases the reins, attempting to reach back and pull the dagger out. What is the damage of this flying weapon of death?
Come on. 7 points of piercing damage.
And how does Ari want to do this?
Nice. I want to knock them forward and then make them fall off the front of the horse.
As the dagger plunges in the back of the Raven Rider, the momentum of the impact, along with the damage, causes her to slump forward as the galloping of the horse causes the rider to go off the front of the horse as it will. As the horse tramples the Raven Rider, it'll continue galloping off into the night. As the rain continues to fall, that will be the end of combat. Wounded, tired, soaked, and cold. What would you all like to do?
I want to go retrieve my dagger and then search that person.
Yeah, let's see what these people have. Oh god, that hurts.
I am uncomfortable.
As each of you move over to the Raven Rider that you downed, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Nat 20. A total of 20.
Awesome.
7 for me, plus a 0 for my investigation.
Okay.
And 12 for me. 9 and 3.
Well, Gorath, with a 20, you will notice the ring on the left hand ring finger of the Raven Rider. He will not have a mask on his face as it is shattered off by your battle axe, which also left his face disfigured. The purple and black feathered hooded cape is still salvageable, but a little small for your Goliath physique. Their unique claw-like bladed leather gloves are salvageable, but also a bit small for your hands. He will have a pouch containing darts, and the tips of these darts seem to be dipped in some type of toxin. A coin purse is tied near the dart pouch as it yields 9 silver pieces. As for the rest of you, Kelbrix, with your 7 investigation and Ari with your 12 investigation, you will both notice the rings on the left-hand ring finger, as well as the claw-like bladed gloves. With your 12, Ari, you are able to locate the pouch of poison darts.
Alright, yeah, I'll definitely take the ring claws. I'm kind of curious about those items.
Well, I'm gonna acquire a second ring and then take the darts as well.
As you guys finish raiding and pillaging the bodies of the dead, Syndra will make her way back as she says, I think I may have found a dry place just up ahead. We should set up camp and bed down. As she looks fairly wounded and weak herself. Here, she extends the mace back to you, Kelbrix.
Oh no, you can keep that for now, just in case. I'm more useful with spells than I am a mace.
You notice her clutch at some sort of makeshift necklace that was constructed or put together during your previous day's travel.
I'm also going to pick up the sickle that I threw at Kelbrix.
With that, you all will travel to a location that Syndra discovered. It is a hollowed out hillside that will provide enough dry space to huddle underneath, keeping everyone dry for the rest of the night. You'll set a small campfire that everyone can dry out and warm by, as rain will continue throughout the night. You all take your watches. Everyone's a little on edge after the encounter, as I would actually like to have Gorath and Ari, if you would, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Do we still have Bless or not?
No. That is gone.
Well, 8. 7 plus 1.
6, 4, and 2.
With those wisdom saves, you both will have a very restless evening, as you are haunted by the images of glowing eyes of the Raven Riders, as the sounds of raven calls echo in your nightmares, as you will not complete your long rest successfully for not sleeping well. Being plagued by nightmares of what you've encountered, you will wake up the next morning tired and groggy, exhausted, as you will have 1 point of exhaustion so far.
We're no longer frightened though, right?
That's correct. You are no longer frightened. Syndra will be the first to wake as she tells you, the city is but a day's travel, tops. We should be there by late afternoon, early evening. We should get on the path and ride. That is where we'll stop our story until next time.
And don't forget, #blessed.